Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's April 30th, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Cody Bills. Cody, let's jump into fire tip here. Take a look how the grains did on a Tuesday, one day after corn traded a limit up on the front month contract. As you can see, we lost a little bit of ground here today. July corn off 10.5, July beans down 12.5, and we saw some strength out of the wheat market. We had Chicago wheat picking up 13.5 cents. Kansas City wheat was up 11 cents. Cody, all eyes were on corn today. What was kind of your take on the action there?
Well, you know, after that huge move yesterday, we started out in the early part of trade trying to continue that move. We're unable to do so. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. Notice we had an area right around that 669 area that was a support level. It was a support level back in January, then again in late February, and then again in early March. That was a very key price level. Now today we got up right around it. It offered that resistance. What was support, we broke down through it. It's switched its role here. It's now providing a resistance level. It's a strong one, and I think we sold off as a result of that. If you get right into the 60-minute chart here, I drew some Fibonacci retracements from that blast off, that launch area that we took off from on Monday, and you can see here the 50% retracement is right around that 644 price level. And notice what else lines up. Another area of that was a resistance level. I think that will offer some support right along with that 50% retracement. I wouldn't be surprised to see 644 hold up here in the night session or even the day session tomorrow.
Absolutely. You know, looking at beans here today, we didn't have a lot of fundamental news there pushing things. Wheat, however, though, is a different story. As we know, the wheat, this current wheat crop here has had some stress coming out of the drought of 2012. We had some frost freeze threats and damage this month, and today we had the Kansas City wheat crop tour kicking off. Today, one leg of the tour saw 6 fields. Average bushel per acre they were projecting there was 50.8. That was 4 bushels per acre lower than that same route of the wheat tour last year. And tomorrow, though, is going to be the big day. They're going to be in central Kansas tomorrow, and that's really the area that got hit hard by that freeze event April 9th, April 10th. So I think the trade's going to be watching that closely, and that certainly supported things from a fundamental standpoint today. Cody, I know we were talking about the technicals on this Kansas City wheat chart earlier today. What's kind of your take on here? Does this support a move higher?
Yeah, well, if you take a look at the action today, we got right up around that $8 price level when we're looking at that Kansas City crop. And the bottom line here is we got up around $8 and we sold off from it. $8 is a huge level. On the daily chart, we have that as it was a support level. We busted through it. It's now a resistance level. But I think with the Kansas City wheat crop in the news so much this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we can hang in right around this level. You'll notice that on the 60-minute chart, this uptrend in this channel started last week, and we blew through it. We were a little bit overbought, I think, when we tried to test $8. I wouldn't be surprised if we start consolidating. I think we'll have another chance at $8 here in the coming weeks, depending on the news that we get from this Kansas City crop tour.
Right, certainly. People are going to be watching that very closely. We'll be tweeting about any announcements that come out from the Kansas City wheat tour live on Twitter at GrainTV is where you can find us over there. And the tour wraps up Thursday at the Kansas City Board of Trade. As I said, we'll keep you posted on that. Coming down the pipe here for the grain market this week, tomorrow we are going to get EIA ethanol crush numbers. Last week we saw a pretty darn strong crush margin once again in Iowa. Would expect another good showing there for ethanol production. We know it's picked up here over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it wouldn't be surprising to see another production figure above 825,000 barrels per day out of tomorrow's report. But like with the Kansas City wheat tour, we'll be tweeting about that report on Twitter as well. Follow us over there at GrainTV is where you can find us.
You know, right before we sign off here, just another thing. If we're expecting another strong ethanol report, throw that in there with the technical support levels that we have for corn, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a relatively a stable day in the corn market too. Potentially positive.
Absolutely. If you want to watch this market trade live for yourself during the day or during the night session, you can visit us at grainhedge.com and take a demo of the trading platform that you see here on GrainTV. But that wraps up what we saw here for a Tuesday. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.